What's up, my gamer squad? It's me again, Sinister Supreme, and welcome to the very first episode of Jurassic Evolution 2. And yes, today, as you can see, I will be building a sandbox park in Jurassic Evolution 2. This park shall be named Jurassic Valley. And as you can see already, I am starting with a new shiny toy that wasn't in the old game, which is of course the lagoons. Also, I'm checking here how the area looks, if it's flat enough, and I didn't really like that, so I went around with some terraforming even around the lagoons. And then, as you can see, I used a little trick, so in the middle that I have more space, or not more space, but I have this concrete wall that makes up a beautiful little, welcoming district. And yeah, next I'm connecting the Hyperloop, and you can see I built something, but I wasn't happy with it. And it's okay to make mistakes, in my opinion, so I just erased them and, made greater mistakes, of course. But I first got rid of the old ones, flattened everything out, got rid of the aviary, the water, and the, painting. Also, the control room was in the way, or not in the middle, to be exact. Yeah. So after taking a while to find the middle spot, I thought of something that I've seen in another video, which is actually using the Jurassic World gate that you have when you use the Jurassic tour. But first I had to take care of my Dimorphodons, because they were all dying and I didn't like that. Because before I erased all my juicy mistakes, I already had some Dimorphodons in my aviary, which I had to move out and later bring back in, as you will see soon. So as I said, I used the Jurassic World gate from the Jurassic tour, you can see right here. I tried to place it in the center as much as I really could see it, and we also have a Dimorphodon death which was a little unfortunate. A little blooper here. I'm gonna leave that in just for the fun of it. Alright. So, as you can see, there was a good tactic using the path to find the middle exactly. As well as that, I used triple clicking fence technique, as I call it, so I can find I have the exact same size of fencing on either side of the gate. Now, as you can see, I am trying to place a path around the gate with the fencing, and then I ran into my first mistake on this better version, I'd say, because the fence was too far and I couldn't connect it very well. But then I just erased the fence and did it all again, like before. But as I would soon see, it's not exactly in the middle, because now I placed the aviary, and yeah, that looks like dipshit. So I got rid of it all, rebuilt it, but cut it out for you because you would have to see the exact same misery all over again. Then I tried placing a monorail, but it didn't really fit there, so I put it on the side, which is also very great. Like, it looks very good in the end result, so trust the process, guys. Then I was placing some planters, just because, we have them in the game, new decorations, why not use them? I really don't like the big planters as much, because you have to have, like, big areas for them, because the pathing, like, it's very, very small, and the people can't really fit through it, because they were at Burger King too much or something, I don't know. Yeah, but what I mean is just a bit annoying with the big ones. So, just a tip to you, I prefer the smaller ones. If you want to use the curves and all that kind of stuff, I just prefer the smaller ones. So next, I placed a Jurassic tour, because I didn't really want to use the aviary viewing galleries. I mean, they don't look bad per se, but I just prefer a tour through the aviaries because it just looks way cooler, and it reminds me of the scene of Jurassic World where the Indominus Rex ran into the aviary and destroyed the grass. And imagine that happened in that park, and you can see it from the vehicle perspective. Like, just imagine, it's very, very, very imaginable. yeah, next I went around, decorated a bit, also added the light post, as you can see. I quite like doing that in any exhibit because it in the night it gives you light even in the aviary, which is very good. And yeah, it has like this safety kind of vibe. I think that fits very well. Yeah, I added some barriers around the light post as well. I thought that was a bit necessary because, well, the Dimorphodon, they're not very strong, but imagine a dinosaur running against it, it would just fall, maybe get fall into the car. Not that great. We don't want that, do we? So next, another tip, in the eagle perspective that you have on the left-hand side, you can check how the exhibit looks from the Dimorphodon perspective, I should say, because they are very small beings, and as it is, you can see it worked out. Dimorphodons in, decorations in, everything well done. Yeah. So, next, I had a little hard cut because, well, the program wouldn't let me do a smooth cut there. And, yeah, what am I supposed to say? That's just it. And then I made this little beautiful curve around the middle part, and first I didn't really like it at all. Like, I thought, okay, no, that's bad, let's erase it. But then I kinda got liking it because, like, with all the planters that I will add and all the trees and stuff, it will look very, very good. And I like the end result, really, like, I gotta say. Yeah, also, as you can see, the little planters are much easier to place than the big ones. Obviously, much more pain in your hand if you always have to move it to the exact spot. But that's, well, fine, I guess. You can deal with it. I believe in you. Also, the little corner that you saw, it was a bit frustrating with the, you know, these times when the game just tells you can't place something there, even though you see and you know that there is enough space, but the game just tells you no. Exactly, that was the problem. And I had to do the moving back of the planters here as well because, as I said before, the visitors of the park, they like to go to Burger King or McDonald's or something, so they like to eat some fast food and get fat. Yeah. So I moved some more planters around the curve right there, just to, well, make it good looking. I think is a nice detail, and I gotta tell you, it was very hard to place all of them in. My hand hurt for like a day after that. I couldn't even write in school because, yes, I am I'm still in school, and yeah, like if you're doing this, record it and try to earn money with it like I do. Yeah, then I added some sand because I think it looks much better than all the green like grass of this map, which is of course the Biosin Valley map. Because the grass, it looks so, well, wet, disgusting in my opinion, so I really like the sand palette more, even though it's not that great as well, but it is some nice touch. So I also added some more planters and also some lanterns for the first time, so these little ones for the first time. But then I noticed that I want to have a fountain. So what did I do? I got rid of all the lanterns, and what did I do? Again, place fountains, got rid of misery, and almost just deleted my Jurassic World gate. That would have been unfortunate. And yeah, next I added some rocks. Very nice for texturing, I gotta say. That's a really nice tip there. I had my troubles around the gate because obviously, again, the game tells you there's not enough space, even though there is. Yeah, that's what you have to deal with if you're not using mods, which I'm not really planning on. Well, not anytime soon, because the game is already very good as it is. Like, there are these little things that of course you can't get rid of with mods, but come on, we can deal with it, it's not that bad. Yeah, then I placed some much bigger rocks and also used the normal tree palette to spawn some big trees and the the little grass bushes around the rocks, which I really like. And then I placed some little trees in with the lonely placing trees, as I call it. And yeah, some more rocks on the other side. And then I ran into the problem of not spawning trees, which was because I have too much space wasted for stones, but I didn't really care, just added the individual placeable trees, and well, it still looked good in the end. Like, look at the result. It looks very, very good. So I always do the little kinda well, how can I call it? The little tree placing around. It just helps to make it look a bit better from the eagle perspective. Next I went with some concrete concrete walls around the path, because they're just a little bit thinner than the planters, which makes it so that people can walk through. And also, you saw me place this like triangular camera thing. I like to imagine it as like a camera to take photos of people when they're in the Jurassic tour, like you have in modern zoos, you know, when they take pictures of you that you can buy later. I imagine it as sort of like that, and not like a security camera. I also got the notification that my amenities were not that great, so I thought, well, let's do that first. And I placed some tables around, placed a shop. Yeah. Well, then I added some giant Asian lambs, and also checked if I would fit a Spinosaurus skeleton, which I couldn't. And yeah, also got the idea that I didn't want to use all the space and add some more nature, because I want to make this a very nature-like park. I want to make it feel like the dinosaurs, they are really not in an exhibit, even though they will be, don't worry. But I just want to give this nature kind of vibe to anyone who visits that park. So I chose to use more trees than buildings. Also added more of the concrete fences again, and a few lantern posts around the monorail road. But it would turn out that I don't really like that, because as you can see between these 3 concrete walls there is this little tiny gap which I really thought about filling in, and then I found the bigger lantern post which I preferred, and then I thought, yeah, well, let's do that. But before I thought of that, I was trying to trick the game into making something cool, but it just didn't work out, so I used the big ones in the end. Then I noticed, well, it wasn't symmetrical, so I replaced everything again and again, which was annoying, but it got there in the end, and I like it the way it is now. Also, there is the other side, of course. Yeah, we gotta switch into night now, and well, I also need to add something there, right? But the variation, like, it's very limited on this area, because if it's too varied, it looks bad, and if it's all the same, I think that's better than it is if there is too much variation with the planters, for example. Like, I didn't want to use the amber planters, for example. I think they don't really fit in that area. Then I wanted to use more guest amenities on the starting area, because I imagine it as kind of like a little starting point of the park, where you have like this little park already before you expose the visitors to the grand finale or the grand park per se. And yeah, I just did it that way. I added some more path in the middle to fill up the gaps, obviously, and I was a bit annoyed by the fact that when the path colors they mix up, they have like this little pointy edges that go into each other, which I really didn't like. Also, I noticed that I couldn't place the big amenity shops because there was just not enough space. So if you do it like I do with the lagoons, you have to think of that first, so you can't just wing it with the big shops. It doesn't work. But the small shops, they also work, I think. Yeah, next I added some more big Asian lanterns, this time just the big ones, because there was a much bigger area over there, so I used them instead of the little ones in between. Just for a bit more variation, I made the shops unique. I made an amber shop, a fossil shop, I think, and a coffee shop. Yeah, I actually made a t-shirt shop before I did the bone shop, because I wanted to really place the Spinosaurus skeleton, because I really like it, because it reminds me of the first Jurassic World movie when the Tyrannosaurus Rex runs through the Spinosaurus skeleton, which I think is also a reference to Jurassic Park 3, running through the skeleton and completely showing off to the Indominus Rex, but later basically losing. But then there was blue, of course. We all know this famous scene, very amazing scene. Yeah, then I added some more nature even behind the aviary, and that's another tip. If you have these little spaces, even behind areas where you don't really see it, I would still recommend you to place these little trees or rocks or planters even if you would like, because it just gives this extra bit of detail. Also added these little stony planter boys, as kind of like a road marker to, well, show off where the Jurassic tour is going. Yeah, I thought that was a nice detail. Adding some more concrete walls, and yeah, I was having troubles with the fitting again, but this time I just moved it a bit to the side and it worked. Then I added this, I don't know what it is actually, this little plant, I don't know, vase. And yeah, then I was tricking around with the right hand side, as you can see right now. But then I noticed that on the other side I had these things, so I wanted to place them instead of the metallic trees that I had from the Biosyn expansion. Yeah, then I also didn't like the fourth fountain that I placed, so I got rid of that. Placed some more little trees to fill up the gaps, as I said. Gap filling is one of the best things that you can do in this game. You will never have a clear space like in the previous game. I still don't know how I managed to play the game without these fountains and chairs and planters. If I reload the old game now, I probably would not be able to play it. Yeah, well, I placed some more barricades around the path for our thick and fat people to get through. And then I placed the monorail to, well, look for where I will go next, which I already know by this point, but I won't tell you. And yeah, I then wanted to put in a aquatic dinosaur, and I of course chose the iconic Mosasaurus, which I think I'll probably be moving because I don't think it fits in that exhibit, because I want to do an Indominus Rex exhibit next to a Mosasaurus exhibit, because of course, again, iconic scene, the Mosasaurus bites the Indominus Rex in its throat and pulls it underwater into the lagoon. And yeah, next I just had to place a feeder for the Mosasaurus to feel comfy and all. So this is actually the first time for me working with a lagoon, so I did that fairly well, I think. Yeah guys, I want to thank you very much for watching this video to the end. If you like what you saw, please leave a like, please subscribe, and yeah, I can assure you that I will do weekly videos. However, I would like to do more, but I still have school, and if you want me to do this as my job to see more videos, you should like and subscribe so I get the juicy money for all of it, and then I can post more videos for all of you guys. So, I would like to thank you very much again, and we'll see each other next time. Sinister Supreme, over and out.